Um, it's January 28th, 2025, afternoon, probably 1 o'clock by now. I don't know. I haven't even really looked at the clock. Actually, I have my phone. Now, watch, I'm going to tell y'all what time it is, but the timer on the camera is going to be different. Don't know why that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's 12:34. Um, I'm in a bit of bereavement right now, mourning the loss of someone who at one point in my life meant the world to me. It's the reason why, a part of the reason I haven't posted any content since my last video that I posted saying that I was going through a form of emotion and I was going to catch up with my content to share with you all my New Year celebration, my New Year's celebration, shall I say, and what I cooked and all of that stuff and everything else that has been going on. But once I got the news on Monday about what I'm going to share with you, my entire world just stopped for like a brief moment, and I've just been coasting almost at a snail's pace ever since. I've only shared this with 3 of you so far, but now more of you are about to learn of what has caused me to not post. Not that it's been a month, which I think it probably has been a month since I posted vlogs, but it hasn't been a month since I've shared some form of content. I had every intention of sharing, editing and sharing what it is that I have recorded. But yeah, that didn't happen. So on Monday, January 20th, 2025, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I received a message from my best friend asking me had I heard about someone that I dated. And I said, girl, no. Why? What's going on? Is he in jail or something? And that was just a joke because he was a law-abiding citizen and he did everything that he needed to do to live his life as peaceful and law-abiding as he possibly could. And she said, no, ma'am. He passed away this morning. And I took the biggest I've ever taken in my life. Everything around me got silent. And then I exhaled. And I said to my best friend, I need a minute. 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 She said, okay, bestie. I dropped my phone. I jumped up and I ran downstairs because I wanted to go outside to get some air. And in me doing that, my daughter said, Mom, what's wrong? What's going on? What's wrong? And I said, T died. He died. She said, what? And I said, they said he died of cancer. And I'm sitting here pondering in my mind, how could he possibly die of cancer? He was like me. One of the things that attracted me to him outside of his obvious appearance was the fact that he ate healthy. He did eat red meat. He did eat pork. But he still ate healthy. And he believed in exercising every week. He exercised. He believed in being careful about certain foods that he put in his body, and how he put them in his body. So that was one of the things that attracted to me to him, because he was someone that was very health conscious. So I'm like, how could he get cancer? And then I thought about the fact that he smokes cigars. He didn't smoke anything else. No cigarettes, no trees, no, just straight up cigars. He loved his cigars, but he wasn't smoking cigars every day. It was like when we would go out on dates, after we either get back to the house, he'd light a cigar and smoke it, or if there was a cigar bar nearby, he'd like, hey, let's go over to the cigar bar, and and he'd smoke his cigar, and I'd have a drink, and he'd have his cigar. I'd probably drink like a margarita, because I don't really like Hennessy and Jack Daniel and stuff. I don't drink that, but your girl will enjoy a margarita. So we'd sit there and chit chat or whatever. And then I also thought about the fact that he works in the medical field. He was a project manager, and he worked in making sure that whatever placement needed to be done for St. Jude, or any other hospital around the country, he was there to make sure that the projects went the way that they should go. And especially when it came to moving patients around. So I'm wondering if he was exposed to something at his job. I don't know, but it shocked me. So I have been crying every single day since learning of his passing on Monday of last week, January 20th, 2025. And I had a hard time accepting the fact that I was crying over him, because I'm the one that broke up with him. I broke up with him because he didn't know how to keep himself between him and I. So that was why I broke up with him. But other than that, he was very loving. He always made sure that I was taken care of. He always gave me compliments where compliments needed to be given. He believed in God. He prayed, which is something that is very important for me. That the man that I'm involved with, believes in God, and he prays. So he prayed every single morning before he got out of bed, and he'd read a passage out of the Bible. And then every single night before he went to bed, he would say a prayer, and he'd read a passage out of the Watchtower. And I remember he said to me one day, because I picked the Watchtower up because I wanted to read it, and he says, "Oh, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I just like reading the Tower, just so you know." And I started laughing, and I said, first of all, I never said anything about you reading the Watchtower. Second of all, I'm not Jehovah's Witness either, but I also enjoy reading the Watchtower. And so we got a chuckle out of that. He prayed for me when I would tell him that something was going on. He prayed for me when I had a breast cancer scare, and I went to him crying, and he was like, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. Just let them do what they're going to do. You're fine. Just keep eating the way that you eat, exercise the way that you exercise, and we're going to pray over this and know that God is going to take care of you. You're fine." And sure enough, with all of the praying that we did, and the believing that we did, and all making sure I went to all of my appointments that I had, everything turned out to be okay. Because it was, I think, 2 years that we went through that, them making sure that what they were seeing was not breast cancer. And when we found out that it wasn't breast cancer, we praised God together and celebrated, and he took me out to dinner, and we had a really nice dinner that night. So it was good. He was a good man in that way, but he just didn't know how to not share himself with others until he didn't have me anymore. And at that point, with him texting me and wanting to go places with me, and because he, find out that, this is what it is. His mother knows both sides of my family. We grew up together. We grew up in the same city, went to the same schools, graduated from the same high school, same class. So we knew each other. So anytime his mom would see me, if I would be home visiting with family or whatever, she'd call him and like, "Hey, I see Marley, this and that. I'm gonna let you. I want you guys to talk," because she really, really, really believed in making sure that her son talked to me when we saw each other. And I chit chat with him. Same thing in 2022. She saw me at a family function, and she went and called him, and we chatted that day, and he said, "Call me when you get home." I never called him when I got home. And I actually made it my business to not call him anymore because I was afraid of getting my heart broken with him again. And yeah, the last time I talked to him was in 2022. Um, but the last text message that I received from him was November 12th, 2022. Because even though I didn't call him back that day, he still texted me throughout the year. And then that final text was November 12th, 2022. And I think that was when I blocked him so that he couldn't reach out to me anymore. And then, even with all of that, and me going on and living my life, I was fine. I was good. I was Gucci. Never thought about him. And then to get the message on Monday that he passed away, and me crying and crying again this morning, I questioned myself. Why are you crying over this man? This is someone that you dated how long ago? And then it took my daughter to say, "Ma, this is someone you've known all of your life. Of course you're going to cry over him." And I said, but I feel like a hypocrite because if it was my ex-husband, I'd have been like, "Oh, dang. Condolences to the family." And I would have went on about my business. And she said, "Well, you haven't known him, your ex-husband, all your life. You've only known him a couple of years of your adult life. But this person, T, you've known him your entire life. So you're not just mourning the person that you dated. You're mourning a friend. He was more than just someone that you dated. He was a friend." And I was just like, you know what, Lord? Thank you for blessing me with a child, an adult child that gets it, that understands it. And so from there, I just allowed myself to mourn. I allowed myself to be expressive in shedding the tears and healing. And I allowed myself to feel everything that I had with him. I allowed myself to cry it out. I allowed myself to scream. I allowed myself to call out his name, to cry out his name as I healed. I'm still healing because the reason I'm sitting out here sharing this with you all is because I cried this morning after my laptop died while I was in training. And I said, "Girl, why are you crying because your laptop died?" It happens. I thought it was plugged in, but it was partially. The charger wasn't all the way into the MacBook. And it was at that moment that I said, "You have got to take care of you," because I have pushed myself. I have dragged myself out of bed every single day to work, to care for Dad, to make sure this house was clean, and to do what I needed to do to take care of me the best that I could. Because I will not lie, it has been a struggle to eat. It has been a struggle. I have not wanted to work, but I forced myself to work. I have not wanted to care for Dad, but I forced myself to care for Dad. And I have not wanted to do anything for myself. But the only thing that I did force myself to do was work and eat. My hair was not looking like this when I got up this morning. My hair was not looking like this yesterday. My hair was not looking like this on Sunday. My hair was not looking like this on Saturday. It was all over my head. Because Friday was the last day that I had to be on camera for work. And when I cried this morning because my laptop died, I knew then I needed to sit down and I needed to share this because there's somebody else out there going through the same thing. Baby girl, it's okay to cry over the ex because that is someone that you once loved. You're not just crying over him, but you're crying over what could have possibly been. You're crying over what you had. You're crying over someone that was a friend to you if you've known each other for a long time. You're crying over what no longer will be if there ever was an opportunity for it to be. Let it out. Same thing for my brothers. Let it out. Cry it out if there is some woman that you once dated or was in love with and you never dated her. But she's no longer here. She's already transitioned this side of life. Let it out. Cry it out, and don't worry about what anyone else says. That's a them problem, not a you problem. We are human. We are human. And it is human nature to mourn something that you have lost. And we have to do this. We have to make it normal for people to show their emotion without judging them. Without judging them. So that's why I'm sharing this today. Let the tears out. And let me tell y'all something that's so funny to me. I said to him, because I believe that our energy continues even when it's not in our vessel. I was out here on Sunday crying my heart out. And I said to him, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for the good memories that we have. I'm very appreciative of it. And I look forward to the day that you let me know that you're visiting me. Even though I'm still over here and you're on the other side. Y'all, I kid you not. When I was in training yesterday, his last name, he has a last name that is not common at all. I mean, it is not common at all. And his name showed up. And I was like, dude, what? And I just took that as his way of visiting me. I took that as his way of visiting me. And I was very grateful for it. Very grateful for it. I just started laughing, and then I told my daughter, and she says, no way. And I was like, yeah, yes way. There's a lot more that I wanted to say in this, but I'm going to cut it here. Mourn. Cry. Let it out. Heal. Live on the memories. Allow yourself to heal in the way that you need to heal. Another thing that I will share with you all. He's the last man that I dated before going on my abstinence journey. I have not been with anyone since him. So yeah. Yeah. That part. But yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to share that with you all. I don't care about judgment. I really don't. You hear one of the cats. I really don't care about judgment. This was somebody that I loved and cared for, and will probably cry again tonight or tomorrow, next week, next month. His birthday is coming up. I'll probably cry on that day too. Along with the fact that yesterday marked 3 years since my sister's transition, so I've been dealing with that emotion as well. So yeah, I'm done. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next one.